This is the third video in my vibrato series, and this is for the advanced players. And this is my dad. He is a violinist who went to Juilliard and to Eastman. He's incredibly good. And I just wanted to have him here today to show you some vibrato exercises. He's a very good teacher, and he should help you a lot in that area.
Hello, by the way. It's fun to be with you today. Sarah was wondering what I was doing by getting an egg out of the refrigerator, and it is not a boiled egg. So I have to be very careful. Yeah, be very careful with this. But notice the shape of this egg. There are a lot of things in nature that are cylindrical. Notice how it's a little bit longer on the top and a little bit squattier and wider at the bottom. And when you think about anything with string instrument playing, you want to think in terms of circles, and particularly in terms of the length, and like the egg, part of it is longer and part of it is a little shorter. And so particularly with vibrato, the timing of vibrato in terms of milliseconds is that there is what we call a ping to the top part of the note. When you're dealing with vibrato, you're bending the pitch backwards and then you're coming up to the top of it. And so if you overshoot the vibrato, if you go over the top of it, then the human ear hears the pitch as being high, and it can end up sounding sharp, which is not a good thing. You want it to sound in tune. So the idea is to make sure that the ping of the vibrato is right in tune. And there's a timing that happens. If you watch in slow motion, the timing is a long, kind of like a long, short timing, and it's a circular pattern with the vibrato. I'm putting the egg down really carefully. So, Sarah, show me the way that you do the vibrato, and do it in slow motion. Good. Most people think of vibrato as kind of an oscillation, a little bit like a sine wave, where it's just evenly going back and forth. But going back to the egg model, what you want to do is lean in to the top pitch in terms of time. So instead of a da 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 pattern, we're going to go more like a long short pattern. So it's going to go da da, long, short, long. So we're going to ping the top in tune pitch of the vibrato. D. Good. And the other thing that's interesting is that the string, anything dealing with string instruments is a spring, and it's three-dimensional. I used to think of vibrato on a two-dimensional plane, where you're basically going back and forth. But it's actually, the string is bending, and so the in-tune note, you want to have a deeper weight into the string, and the backward motion, you want to lighten the touch. The short going into the note should be heavy, and then lightening up as you go backwards. There you go.
Whenever you do the bow change, is it bad for the bow to react to what the left hand's doing?
You know, it's going to, whether you think about it or not, and I wouldn't worry about it. The idea is that the bow stays separate, and so try to keep your bow separate from thinking about this. But it's going to do what it needs to. We're trying to isolate different elements of playing, and so today's lesson is with the vibrato, and I wouldn't worry about the bow. The bow will be a different lesson. So, but it is good to use the bow strongly with any of these exercises. So, there you go.
Cool. Before we end, I have one more question for you.
Yes.
Metronome, setting it on 60, do you do anything with patterns? So like a 1, 2?
Yeah, that would be good. The interesting thing about vibrato is, and a lot of people think of it in terms of one motion, but you really should think of it as the main motion is into the in-tune note, so the higher pitched aspect of the note. So ping, ping, and so the backwards motion is more like a reflexive motion that you don't really think about. And so it's like a little bit like clapping, where you go like that. It's kind of a rebound, right? And so you're thinking about the in-tune pitch. So ding, 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 ding. And what you can do with that is create rhythm patterns like dun, 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 or dun, 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 reversing it, or dun, 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 dun. So thinking about in terms of rhythm training into the in-tune note at the top.
And that should increase your palette of vibrato speeds, right?
Right.
And so you can change your musicality with the color of vibrato that you use.
Yes.
And this exercise will help grow that.
Right. And so there are all sorts of different things that you can do with vibrato. You can make it very, the note difference between the in-tune pitch and the lower, you can make that shallower or deeper. Like here's your in-tune note, and then you can, when you draw back underneath the pitch, you can make it just a little tiny bit. And so we would call that a narrow vibrato. Or you can bring back the pitch really wide, and that would be a wide vibrato. And then with that, you can do it faster, like you can have fast and narrow, or you can have fast and deep, or you can have slow and narrow and slow and deep. And you can play with it in terms of there's really no right or wrong. What becomes wrong with vibrato is when it becomes out of tune, because you're not pinging the in-tune note.
Or if it becomes all the same, if there's no variation whatsoever.
Yeah, you want variation. Like if you want, say, if you're playing, say, Mozart, you want it to be fast, a very fast and somewhat narrower vibrato. If you're playing Brahms, you would want it to be a richer, deeper vibrato. If you're playing Bach, sometimes you don't want any vibrato at all, because in the Baroque period they didn't use vibrato.
It was only used for ornamentation, special notes.
Right. Of course, now we put it on Bach too, because we've grown used to how it sounds.
And different instruments.
Yeah. So it's about personal taste and personal color, what you want to do to make your own statement as an artist.
That is all for today. If you are a beginner cello player and you have vibrato questions, you can look at my other 2 videos that I have right here. And if you have any questions, please comment below. I can always, ask my dad, because he knows everything, so he can help you too.
Not really.
I hope that this video helped you. If you have any questions, please let us know. And stay tuned for more tutorials.